The INEPS Congress 2010 was held for the first time in mysterious Romania, a country fully involved in a process of educational reform, began with a firm belief and effort in productive learning. For a week, Bucarest was the meeting point for more than 100 educators from 11 countries around the world, all interested in finding paths to create and maintain innovative school projects in the middle of the economic crisis. The event was opened by a representative of the organizer of the Congress, Foundation Center Education 2000+, together with an education inspector from Bucarest and the president of INEPS. They presented the Congress's metaphoric title, Building Bridges Over Troubled Waters, Productive Learning as a Way to Improve General Skills Needed in Personal and Working Life. This is the experience of many educators while trying to bring safety to shore so many young people who, much as they keep on swimming, remain adrift without remedy. Productive learning experts analyzed the elements of the education system that interfere negatively in what could be a genuine life-saving maneuver for many young people. According to these experts, the education system needs to commit to individualized approaches, aims its programs at improving key life skills and abilities, educate in values and, among many other things, maximize the dimensions of the educator in order to ensure a realistic and trusted approach to the students. Productive learning is all of this and more. As part of the opening event of the Congress, INEPS activists from different countries invited each other to explain briefly their motivation for coming together to advance in the development of productive learning and INEPS network. Participants also used the fruit salad method to organize themselves into groups, in which they considered the future of INEPS and the elements that should be reinforced or introduced to ensure the most usefulness and strength. The fact is that INEPS grows year after year to encompass more projects, schools and countries. Evidence of this was seen in the incredible market that was organized with all the speed and enthusiasm possessed by each delegation. Over the next 2 days, everyone visited one or other of the Bucarest schools in order to learn about the daily work of Romanian teachers and the real situation of education in the country. The visitors were given an exceptional welcome by students who also showed them some of the results of their schooling activities. In recent times, a range of pilot projects to implement productive learning have seen the light in Bucarest. One important example of these projects is aimed at the young students in need of an alternative to traditional education, in order to allow them to create individual and flexible paths within general education and to build solid bridges from secondary schools to vocational education, to the work of work and to the good life. This project is led by Center Education 2000 Plus and the local administration, and has the participation of 5 schools that are encouraged by this process of educative innovation aimed at stemming academic failure in the country. As well as to know these new ideas and worries of the Romanian teachers in their daily work, they had the chance to exchange experiences with a group of visitors and to analyze the challenges they all face today, the difficulties that must be overcome and the steps to follow to arrive at the desired future. The schools were also the setting for the Congress Program Central Seminars. Motivation, communication and counseling, 3 key issues in the productive learning methodology to be looked at in depth. One day of the Congress was devoted to exploring Bucarest, a pleasant city full of parks, wide avenues and elegant buildings, which in the 1930s gained it the title of Little Paris. The city does in fact surprise us by its eclectic architecture, mixing medieval and neoclassic buildings and the monolithic buildings of the communist era. This day also gave participants a few hours to enjoy the history of popular Romanian architecture and culture, seeing curious wooden houses and churches in the village museum, which were surprisingly located in the center of the city. motivation, communication and counseling was also the underlying slogan established throughout the Congress for looking at the issues of interest of INEPS. Thus, roundtable workshops were set up to analyze, in a relaxed participatory atmosphere, such issues as the integration of minorities in the educational system, the strategies and arguments that productive learning must adopt before educational authorities and governments, the organization of the next Youth Congress, and the use of internet and social networks for communication and work among INEPS members. The results and evaluations of the total activity of the Congress, including visits, seminars and workshops, were presented again in the dynamic and direct form of a market, using all kinds of visual media. The General Assemblies took place in the same direct participatory way as the rest of the activities, permitting the exchange of information, suggestions and proposals among the Administration Council and all INEPS members. With renewed ideas and energy, the participants spent the last night talking, listening to live music and dancing. They said farewell with satisfaction, knowing that the ships under their command will be a little stronger and a little safer, capable of navigating troubled waters and carrying the precious cargo to good coasts, where works opportunities and enriching life experiences are waiting for them. Good luck and a good compass for all ships being boarded.